Hello friends, welcome back to Digitalk. In this session, I am going to clear your doubts on the patching related conflicts. Okay, so whenever we apply the patches in WebLogic server, or in fact, it's not about the WebLogic server, in any of the Oracle middleware component. Okay, for example, SOA Suite, IDM, Web Center. Okay, so when we apply the patch, before that, there is a process to run the pre-check. Okay, and in pre-check it check for the existing patches. Okay, and in compare with the patch that you are going to apply for the conflicts. And now depend on the conflicts, we get a multiple kind of issues where we may have to work with the Oracle support to get certain kind of a merge patch. Okay, or some overlay patches, something. So there are multiple terms that is specifically related with the patching related conflicts. Okay, which specifically we can say the patching conflicts. Then we heard about merge patch, overlay patch, interim patch, which is also called the one-off patch, superset patch, subset patch. Okay, so in this session, I'm going to clear your doubt on all these conflicts. Okay, and now whenever you are going to apply any of the patch for middleware component, not specific to WebLogic, okay, then you will have a clarity what exactly the issue that you are getting when you are running the pre-check for the patching, right? So let us begin with the session. Okay, just a quick recap. Okay, what exactly is a patch? A patch is a piece of code designed to fix problems with the existing code or software. This includes fixing security vulnerabilities and other bugs and improve the usability or performance. So now we have a multiple kind of a patch, and what is the purpose of patch is to, there are multiple purpose of patch. Okay, one of the patch that you must aware about that one, specifically when we talk about the Oracle middleware products, where the Oracle release the multiple patches quarterly, each quarter. Okay, the first thing is where the security patches. So if there are any security vulnerabilities in the system or in the middleware product, okay, then we every quarter we get these security patches. Okay, and along with that, if there is some critical patch that may need not to be wait for a quarter, then you may get it before as well. Okay, so that is to fix certain kind of a security vulnerabilities. Okay, and there could be possibility that there could be a bug in the product or the software. Okay, and to fix that particular bugs in the software, or maybe to improve certain kind of functionalities where there is certain kind of a gaps or problems in the software stack. Okay, in the software code somewhere. So for that we get a different kind of a patches. Okay, and based on our requirements we apply all those patches, right? So this is a patch. What exactly is a patch? So you can download it from the my support portal of the Oracle. Okay, and then you will get a readme.txt file as well on how to apply the patch. Okay, it's a very straightforward process when we talk about the applying the patch in middleware. There's a OPatch utility, or now we have a stack patch bundle as well for multiple products. Okay, so how we apply the patch, for that I have posted another few videos on applying the patches in the middleware. Okay, you can search in the channel and then you will get a lot of videos. So specifically in this video, I'm going to talk about the problems or the conflicts that we get with respect to the patching. So now the first thing is where the interim patch. What exactly is the interim patch, which is also called the one-off patch? So interim patches, also known as one-off patches, are created to provide a specific fix. They generally address specific bugs for a particular customer and generally should not apply unless instructed by the Oracle to do so. So that means there are a lot of customers of a particular product across the world. For example, if I talk about the WebLogic server, okay, so now there are multiple customers those are using the WebLogic server, and there are multiple functionalities, in fact, in the WebLogic. For example, data sources, JMS bridges, okay, deployment, and there are multiple features are there in a single product. Okay, so it could be possible that some of the clients are using some of the different functionalities, and on the other side, the other clients may not be using that functionality, but they may be using the other functionality of that product, right? So now, based on that scenarios, okay, it could be possible that a particular customer may face some kind of a bugs in a particular functionality. For example, there is a JMS, Java messaging system in the WebLogic server. So it could be possible that one of the customer is not using the JMS, but other customer is using the JMS very extensively. Okay, and they may face certain kind of issues with respect to the JMS. This could be a bug, right? So for that, they will raise a support SR with the Oracle, and then Oracle may get release of a fix for that. Okay, which is called an interim patch or a one-off patch that is specifically released for the customer, and then that customer can download and apply that particular patch to fix that problem. Okay. So now this patch could be a generic. That means this patch may be applicable for all the customers, those are using the JMS services. Okay, today they may not be using that particular functionality which has been impacted, where we applied the bug, a patch, right? But maybe in future they are going to use that, or maybe some other customer who is going to buy the WebLogic from the Oracle, they may use that particular functionality. So this kind of a patch need to be fixed across the customers, right? Or across the, you can say across the product. So this is called a one-off patch that may be rolled over in the next subsequent patches, which can be applicable for all the customers. But as of now, when we say that when a particular customer hit a particular bug, and now he is going to apply that particular patch, which has been released by the Oracle for that, specifically for that customer, this is called the one-off patch or the interim patch. They require a particular base release or patch set to be installed before they can apply. That means if you are going to apply some interim patch or one-off patch, so for that there could be a base patch set need to be applied in your system. Okay, for example, there could be a WebLogic PSU 14.1.1.0 and then 24011. So each quarter, whenever we get the different kind of a patches, then this particular patch set update is released with the new version. For example, here you can see in this slide, the version is 24011. And in next quarter, you may get 24012, 113 or something maybe in the incremental value. Okay, so there's a prerequisite that you have to be in your system, and on top of that, you can apply the one-off patch that you will get from the Oracle. So this is a one-off patch which could be specific to a customer. Right. Now, the important point, what is patch conflict and merge patch? So most of the time, when we get the different kind of a conflicts, okay, what is the reason for that? So if a patch makes different changes to the same section of code that another patch modifies, then these two patch conflict and only one of them can be installed unless a merge patch or overlay patch is available. So now what does it mean? If a patch makes different changes to the same section of code that another patch modifies, then these two patch conflicts. Okay, so what I said, patch is a bug fix in your product, or maybe it could be a security patch. So now when we talk about that one of the bug fix in your software, that means that particular patch that you are going to apply, it is going to fix some bugs in your code. So that means it is going to update some portion of the code. It could be part of a certain file. For example, you may have a certain jar file like weblogic.jar file. Okay. Inside that you may have a certain Java classes, and then you have some bug in a particular Java class, and you may have applied a patch which is going to update that particular code which is there inside the weblogic.jar. Right. Now tomorrow you again get a bug fix patch, okay, which is again going to update the same code, which for that you already have a patch in the system. Right. So in that case you will get a patch conflicts. So let me explain you with the example. So you will get a complete clarity. For example, you have a WebLogic home where you have a patch A, which you have already applied. And this patch A, what exactly it is doing, it is updating the A.O, B.O, and C.O code in libserver15.x file. So suppose this libserver15.x is a file, code file of your WebLogic server, and you have applied a patch A, which is updating the three part of that particular file. You can say the three part of the code, which is specifically marked as A.O, B.O, and C.O. Now you are going to install the patch B. And what exactly this patch B is doing, it is updating the two part of the code, the A.O and D.O in the same file, libserver15.x. Okay, so now what is common here? This is, if you see here, the patch A which is already in your system. Okay, that is updating A.O, B.O, and C.O. Now, when we talk about patch B, which is we have to install, so it is going to update A.O and D.O. So here, A.O is a common code which is already modified by the patch A, right? And apart from that, D.O is the new bug fix in the patch B. So now we have two things. The first is there is a conflict between the A.O code, and apart from that, there is a new functionality in the D.O, right? So here, patch B is in conflict with patch A. And now, because A.O is the common code that is both patches are going to be updated. And so that means because they both update object A.O in lib15.x. Okay, consider it as A.O, not AAA.o. Right. So this A.O is common. So that means now the patch are in conflicts because they are trying to update the same part of the code. But along with that, if you see that there is a new bug fix as well, D.O as well. So that means what exactly we need in my system is I need A.O, B.O, C.O. Along with that, D.O is a new bug fix. So that means I need all four bug fixes in my system. So what you will do in that case, if I talk about the result, so O patch report patch B is in conflict with patch A, right? So if you are going to run the prerequisite for patch B and output, you will see that there is a patch conflicts, okay, between both of the patches. So now in that case, you have to file an SR with the Oracle to get a merge patch of A and B. So why we need a merge patch? Because as I said, patch B include one new functionality, which is D.O. That means one new bug fix, which is updating the code part of D.O. Along with that, I need the A.O, B.O, and C.O as well. So now you have to work with the Oracle support. So what they will do, they will merge the patch A and B in a single patch, maybe with the name of patch C. And now they will include A.O, B.O, C.O along with the D.O. Right? So now in that case, you will have only single patch, which will contain all the bug fixes from the previous patch. Along with that, you will have a new functionality, which will be D.O. Okay, and now this patch is allowed to update the same part of the code, right? So if the option to continue the installation is selected, patch A will be rolled back and patch B will be installed. So in that case, if you are going to apply the patch, there are different patch options to ignore the warnings and conflicts as well. Okay, so what will happen if you are going to apply the patch B without getting a merged patch, then patch A will get rolled back and patch B will be applied. So now what will happen in that case, if you will roll back the patch A, then B.O and C.O bug fixes will be removed because you have removed the patch A. And in patch B, you have only A.O and D.O. So that means the only the bug fixes that will be available in your system will be for A.O and D.O part of the code, but B.O and C.O will be removed because you have removed the patch A before applying patch B, right? So in that scenarios, you always recommend to go with the Oracle support and get a merge patch so that all the bug fixes will be there in your system. So this is the main part of your patch conflicts and the merge patch. Okay, so merge patch is one where multiple conflicting patches are combined into in one integrated patch, which is patch C in our example. Right. So now what is superset patch? So maybe sometime you will get a superset patch message. So if a particular patch to be applied contain all of the fixes included in the already installed patches plus additional fixes, then the patch with more fixes is a superset patch and there is no conflicts. So that means suppose that you have a patch in your system. Okay, for example, if you have a patch A, B, C, and D, there are four kind of a patch in your system, which is specifically in the screenshot as a before patching. Okay, and now patch C and D, which is already installed in the Oracle Home, fix bug 5, 6, 7, 8. Now you can see in the picture for patch C and D, it is fixing four bugs. The patch C is fixing bug 5 and 6, and patch D is fixing 7 and 8. Now you have to apply the patch E, okay, which is to be installed, and it is fixing the bugs 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So now if you are going to apply patch E, which is fixing the bugs for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, and you already have patch C and D in system. So now patch C and D is fixing the code 5, 6, 7, 8. So this 5, 6, 7 is already part of patch E. Along with that, there are two more bug fixes, which is 9 and 10. Right. So now, because this patch E include all of the patches, which is part of patch C and D, and along with the two new bug fixes, which is 9 and 10. So what will happen? This patch E will called as a superset of patch and C and D. Because why we are calling it a superset? Because all the patches, which is there in C and D, already included in patch E, right? Along with few more bug fixes. So this is a superset. So patch E will call the superset of patch C and D, right? So this is not considered as an error situation. So what will happen if you are going to apply the patch in case of a superset patch conflicts? O-patch will remove the previous patches from Oracle Home and apply the new patch. So it's very safer set because the patch C and D, which is going to be removed, okay, which that particular bug fix is already there in patch E, along with the few more new bug fixes. So we can safely remove the patch C and D, and then we can apply the new patch, which will include the previous functionalities along with the new functionalities. Right. And apart from that, you will have a subset conflict. So that means if all the bug fixed by the patch being installed are fixed in a patch already installed in one Oracle Home, the patch being installed is a subset. So let me explain you again. patch A, which is already installed in Oracle Home, fixing bug 1, 2, and 3. And patch B, which is again to be installed and it is going to fix bug 1 and 2. So now, because you already have bug 1 and 2 in your system, which is already fixed by patch A and which include one more bug fix called bug 3. Okay, so that means this patch is not applicable for your system, which is the subset conflicts. So if you have a subset conflicts, then you don't need to do anything. That means you don't need to apply the patch in your system because that the bug fixes that is applied by this particular patch is already in your system. So this is called the subset of patch. So you don't need to do anything in that case because the patch or along with the particular bugs is already in your system. Right. Now, few things. What is the CPU, critical patch update? So I saw many engineers are confused on CPU as well. What exactly is a CPU, critical patch update? Okay. So as I said, critical patch update is a security patch. This is specifically when we talk about CPU, it is a security patch which is released by the Oracle each and every quarter, which you can download and apply in your system. Okay. And important thing, as I said, this is a security patch. Along with that, you will have a patch set update. So PSU, which is called the patch set update, are cumulative and include all of the security fixes from CPU patches plus additional fixes. So that means when we talk about the PSU, it will include all of your security fixes. Along with that, it will have some additional fixes. That could be some bug fixes in your software, or this could be some improvement, performance improvement in your system for that. Okay, so that means PSU is a combination of security fixes plus additional fixes. Okay, so when we talk about CPU, so that means PSU already include your CPU. Okay, so if you are going to apply CPU, that means you are already applying the security patch. But if you are going to apply the PSU, that means you are going to apply the security patch. Along with that, you are applying the some additional bug fixes. And for that, you can read or you can go through the README of the PSU, and then you will see that what all are the bug fixes that is going to be fixed by this particular PSU. So now when we talk about the applying the patch, which patch we need to apply, so it is already recommended to go with the PSU each quarter. Why PSU? Because it will apply all the security fixes, and along with that, it is going to apply some additional fixes as well. And as I said, if you are not sure about what are the additional fixes it is going to be fixed, for that you can go through the README of that particular patch, and then you will get a complete list of bug fixes that is going to be installed along with the security fixes in your PSU. Right? And now along with that, you will have an overlay patch as well. So overlay patch is also called an interim or one-off patch which conflict with PSU. So patch conflict resolution is achieved by providing a new patch that coexists with and require the PSU patch. The new patch overlays the PSU and the PSU is a prerequisite for the overlay patch. So what happened is that this is specifically related with the PSU. Okay. So whenever you are going to apply the patch set update, at that time you may get a certain kind of a conflicts. Okay. For some of the interim or one-off patch that you have already applied in your system. Okay, so what will happen in that case when you are going to apply PSU and then you're getting some conflict with one of the overlay or the one of the interim or one of patch conflicts. So what will happen in that case? You will get another overlay patch from the Oracle. Okay, and for that, what is the prerequisite? That particular PSU must be in the system. That means whatever the PSU that you are going to apply, for that you are going to get this particular interim overlay patch, right? So PSU will be the prerequisite for that particular overlay patch. And once you have that PSU is applied, after that you can install that one-off patch, which is the overlay patch. So these are the some important concepts specifically you should know about when you learn about the how to apply the patches in the system and what kind of a conflicts that you get in your system. Thank you.